We have a wonderful Civil War collection, and this year we're just wrapping up the 150th anniversary of the end of the Civil War. So there's some things related to the war on display, and we have a wonderful collection of Abraham Lincoln materials as well.
How could he collect everything? It's very rare.
Well, Henry Huntington collected a lot of things as libraries or as large collections. So he didn't always acquire one manuscript at a time, but he would purchase a library that someone had already compiled if it came up for auction or for sale, or he would purchase collections. So there were several wonderful Civil War collections of material that he purchased en masse and added to his library. You have to see this. This is one of my favorite things in here.
Finally.
Do you know the author Jack London?
Jack London, yeah.
Who wrote a lot of books about the gold rush and about animals and the adventure life. This is a copy, well, it's the original of his manuscript for his novel, The Sea Wolf. He lived in Northern California and was very afraid of fire. He was afraid his important manuscripts might be destroyed if his house burned. So he put this manuscript in a box in a bank vault in San Francisco. And in 1906, the San Francisco earthquake hit, and fire ravaged the city and completely destroyed this manuscript right in its box. And we have it in its totally charged state. You can almost see like the ghost of handwriting on the pages on the top, but no one has ever dared try to lift the pages apart and see if any of it is still intact, because it would just crumble into ash.
Wow.
So it's, and originally it would have looked like these other manuscripts. He wrote typically in pencil or pen, by hand, and just kind of scribbled down his ideas and corrections very quickly. So that was the original manuscript. They're hoping that someday technology will allow them to see through all the burned pages and see if there's anything unburned in the middle, but for now we don't know. So that's just one example of the really rare and unusual things in the collections.
그 뭐지?
There's a
Harry
lot.
Potter? It's like Harry Potter에 나오는 마법 학교 같아.
There's also an exhibition gallery in the end here for changing shows around particular themes. The one currently on view is about the end of slavery in America. And there's a history of science gallery around the corner. We've got a wonderful history of science collection.
아, 그러니까 헌팅턴에는 여기 여러 가지가 있잖아요. 박물관이 있고 수목원도 있고. 그러니까 정말 다양하게 요거 하나만 봐도 진짜 시간 금방 갈 것 같아요. 정말 크다 이거는. 와.
This is Birds of America by John James Audubon, a very famous naturalist who set out in the 1700s to document all the birds in America. And what's interesting about this book, one of the things, is that all the birds are shown at their actual size. So that's why it's such a big book. So he could draw very large birds. He could represent very large birds and very small ones in the same book. So these woodpeckers that are shown here at this opening, that would be their actual size, and he's showing them in kind of their natural habitat.
So only birds.
Right.
Sure.
This is birds, and there's some insects that work their way in there.
아, 인센스. 야, 이거는 한 장 잘못 그리면 이게 통째로 그릴 텐데. 몇 장이야? 야, 대단하다.
We turn the page regularly so people can see different things when they come.
Oh, you change the page?
Every couple of months or so we'll change it, yeah.
그치, 이게 다음 장에 뭐가 있는지 궁금하니까.
This is the other really famous manuscript. It's of Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's kind of a monumental work of English literature from the 1400s. And he didn't pen this manuscript himself. It was done by a scribe. But this is how, you know, a really important book looked before Gutenberg came along and made it easier to produce them. So it was all done by hand, all beautifully illustrated, and there's gold leaf illumination. So it's a work of art.
근데 글을 정말 잘 썼다.
We should probably go because we got lots of ground to cover.
Okay, let's go. 여러분, 제가 지금 봤던 이 공간은 사실 등산의 일각에 불과한 거예요. 지금부터 근사한 것들도 소개해드릴게요. 마스터